Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do One Piece episode 611 review. Now, this week's episode of One Piece. Okay, so here's the best part, bar none, right here. Okay, and then that's the best part. Yet again, Smoker and Vergo doing their thing. It was nasty. Why? Because Vergo pulling out some either reflexes or hockey. Because in One Piece, you can't really be too sure. Because you may want to call them reflexes, but then they could be observation hockey. So you're never too sure unless they actually clarify or unless they tell you. But either way, it was like he was just dodging, Smoker behind him. Yeah! Don't underestimate the Marines. And then Vergo, this dude's like a zombie. He literally just takes shit. And that's why I'm so adamant about saying it has to be Tekkai as well as Busou Shoku. His durability and his endurance is far too great not to include Tekkai. He already knows Genpo. He already knows Sword. We've seen him use Sword. And Tekkai is a very plausible option as well. He's a Marine. He should know about the Rokishis. That's just the way it is. Unless you have some kind of, Delphoid ability. I mean, well, actually, maybe they do all know Rokishi, at least the higher ups, like the Vice Admirals and the Admirals. Because Aokiji, I think, knew Shave, too. Your sword. Because, Whitebeard, Tsunamis, Ice Age, and, so he probably does know Sword. But, of course, the problem in the episode itself was the fact that that scene was only 10, 15, 20 seconds at the most. And it wasn't nearly enough to me to actually enjoy as much as I should have. Because and that's the thing, because now that I know that there are, specific animators for specific scenes in the actual episode itself, and the choreographer for the entire episode, the animation director, it's like, sometimes I'm like, okay, alright, it's usual One Piece slow pacing. Other times, it's fucking beautiful. I mean, it's straight up beautiful, jaw-dropping. And I relish those jaw-dropping, beautiful scenes. Whether it be combat, whether it be just the environment itself. But most of the times, they're not there. And I want to where most times they are there. That's the majority of the episode. But that's not the case, and unfortunately, that's the way it is. I can't change that. I would love to, but I can't. Now, but that's the best part, my personal opinion, by leaps and bounds, that combat scene. And then the majority of the episode was, again, relatively slow, One Piece as usual, and it focused predominantly on the flashback of Momosuke and his whole situation. And there are three things that you want to get from that. The first thing is that we see him transform into the dragon by number 2 by eating an artificially created devil fruit that Vegapunk made. The genius level of this guy is insane. So not only is he able to recreate a devil fruit power, Kizaru's later, and put them into machines known as Pacifista, but also he's able to actually create a devil fruit itself. So how does that work? See, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward in the future for the actual series One Piece, when we actually see Dr. Vegapunk, because when we see him, and when he's incorporated into the actual story, we should find out, or there should be a lot of reveals. There should be a lot of information. Like that should be like an info dump chapter, an info dump episode about the devil fruits, about the essence of the devil fruit and how he's able to transfer them into weapons and take it into, Pacifista and make swords eat fruits. How do you do that exactly? Which actually would correlate, sort of. That may correlate to what Blackbeard did to Whitebeard. We don't know. It's something to do with the devil fruit essence. And if he artificially created devil fruit, which means that he's able to somehow take the essence of a fruit or create its own unique essence by some way, shape, and form. We don't know. But that's the thing. It's like with One Piece, it's like there's so many mysteries. There's so many subplots within subplots within subplots. It's like triple Inception here. And hopefully Vegapunk, his introduction to the story, hopefully that clarifies so many things. And I would love that. I would relish that chapter forever. So, and that episode forever. Because it'll be just a huge monumental step forward in the series. Now, that's number 2. And number 3, of course, is when we have Momosuke, and he's in his mock Shenron pink form, and he's walking around the laboratory, winds up stumbling in the Caesar Clown's room, and he overhears that apparently these kids, I think it's the bigger ones, they're gonna die in like 5 years. So, it's like, or unless all the kids are gonna die in 5 years' time, but the big kids are gonna die first, like maybe like before 5 years. I'm not too sure exactly on the exact time frame. But either way, these kids are gonna die. If they continue to take these narcotics, and if they continue to be experimented on, then they will die. And of course, this pisses off Luffy to high hell. Luffy wants to go and kick Caesar Clown's ass. Now, the flashback had one funny part, and this part to me I thought was hilarious. When Momosuke transforms to the dragon, and there's a mirror, and he's sizing himself up. He's like, like he's sizing himself up. I'm like, oh, that was funny as fuck. So that was funny as fuck. But that part, as usual, it was, you know, in my opinion, it could have been shrunk down considerably. Obviously, duh. Like a lot of nonchalant miscellaneous scenes in One Piece can be shrunken down considerably. But fuck it. Moving on. We see apparently Luffy wants to go, and he wants to go kick, you know, Caesar Clown's ass, and he's gonna go climb the thing. And apparently, and that's the thing about Luffy that I find so strange sometimes. It's like sometimes Luffy has like a limitation to his rubber stretching abilities, and sometimes he doesn't. Like you remember in do you guys remember in Drum Island when he first did his when he sent Wappo flying with that bazooka? His hands literally stretched the entire compass of the island and more to do a freaking bazooka. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, sometimes there's a limitation, sometimes there's not a limitation. It's like, I don't know. Like, like, is there a set stretch distance with Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi? I don't know. It varies a lot. Like remember Marine Fort when he was stretching over the actual wall to go get to Ace, and like the walls came and blocked him? That was a very large stretch. So I'm thinking to myself, like I don't know, like it throws me off. It does. But what happens is that Momosuke, he starts to like hallucinate, and we see an image of Flamingo's sunglasses. I mean, does he know Flamingo? I don't know. No spoilers, alright? I can't say anything, alright? I mean, but just for some closure, in the manga, we don't know, alright? In the manga, there's a shit ton of theories running around. No one knows what's going on, right? Well, people are making theories about what happened with Momosuke and an image. But we see Flamingo's sunglasses, and then Momosuke starts to freak out. And then all of a sudden and this, I think, is again another Dragon Ball Z pull. Because we see him make like these weird puffy clouds, right? And then all of a sudden he starts to walk in these clouds. And mind you, Momosuke, he's actually a little kid. So remember when Luffy first had the Gomu Gomu no Mi, okay? He sucked ass. He sucked. He couldn't do anything at all. Like just, you know, gun pistol, and he'd always hit himself. And it took, you know, months of training in the wilderness with him, Ace, and Sabo. And Momosuke just ate dog food. So he obviously, as a young kid, so he obviously does not have full control of his powers. That's very obvious. That's very obvious. And lo and behold, like, he's not like Kaku, just pull. No, Kaku, he was pulling shit out of his fucking ass, like literally. Plus the machine. Okay, we're going. Basically, the thing about it was that we see him and he starts to create these clouds, and he's actually like walking on the clouds, and he's mock flying. And that's an obvious pull from Dragon Ball Z. Or pull, memento, what do you want to call it? And or inspiration, whatever. Basically, it's like the flying Nimbus, pretty much. Like miniature flying Nimbuses that he can walk on. Or, like, they kind of remind you of the clouds that we saw in Snake Way, pretty much, in the afterlife. So, I mean, that's what he's doing right there. And we see a scene of Usopp, Kinemon, and Brook. They're searching for Momosuke and the Kaiosuke cuffs. And we see the last scene, which is basically Chopper, Zoro, Nami. Oh, no, we see Sanji taking the Marines to haul their asses because the gas is coming their way. And then we see that one scene. Basically, the kids are still chasing Moncha for the candy. And in comes Robin. Gonna stop the kids. Stab right through here. And we have Monet like, where you going, bitch? And then she circles around. Zoro. And that's it. So, the episode overall. Again, the pacing, One Piece pacing, obviously could have been a lot better. A lot better. Animation, for the majority of the episode, was mediocre at best. But that one scene with Vergo, whoa! It was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, like it was back in the day, old school CP9 shit. It was like, it's nasty. Sword, hockey up. Yeah! Like, that was nasty. And Smoker twirling his GT. Don't mess with the Marines. I'm like, that was nasty. There's no denying it. That was nasty as fuck. Now, the next part. So animation, good. Story progression, kind of there. Actually, no, not really. Yeah, not really. Because I realized the only thing that progressed story-wise was Luffy now kind of getting out of the dragon heap, of the dump heap, and dragon heap, and Vergo still fighting against Smoker on some zombie shit, like you're playing like Left 4 Dead. And they pretty much the kids are still chasing Moncha. Like that didn't change from last episode at all. And so story progression is minimal at best. So the rating overall, negatives and positives as usual. And the rating, I'm probably gonna give it I'll give it an okay. To me, it was an okay episode. It could have been a lot better. It really could have been a lot better. But overall, it was okay. So I'm done. King Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.